I love using Cove in the kitchen because it's environmentally friendly, plant-based, and fully refillable.
Nice.
Building immunity these days is more important than ever, and it's great to know about foods that help build your immune system. So today, I'm going to be making a Sri Lankan prawn curry with a cafe flatbread using all these immunity-boosting ingredients. All right, let's marinate the prawns. I've got some beautiful tiger prawns from Tropico here, so I'm just gonna pop that into a bowl. Then I'm gonna add a pinch of salt, because you always have to season, and some turmeric. So I've got some ground turmeric here. Now the thing about turmeric is you got to use it with fats in order for it to absorb into your body. So that's why I'm going to be making curry with it. The next thing I'm going to do is to make my curry powder. So in a spice grinder, I'm going to add in a few spices. I've got some peppercorns, so black peppercorns that can go in, some black mustard seeds, some cumin seeds, pop that in, some fennel seeds. I've also got some coriander seeds. Pop that in. I've got 1 cinnamon stick, which I'm just gonna break that up lightly so that it's easier to grind. And I've got some fenugreek here. Pop that in. Shut the lid, and I'm just gonna grind it. Great, so it's exactly what I want. I'm just gonna set this into a bowl so it's easier. I can put this aside now. Now I'm gonna cook my curry, so I'm just gonna put the heat on to medium heat. I'm just gonna add a couple of tablespoons of vegetable oil. And then I'm going to saute some of that onion just to flavor the oil. And then I'm going to add in my garlic. So I've thinly sliced them. Now I'm gonna add in some green chilies. Now this provide a bit of heat and a bit of color as well. And the next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add in my curry leaves. I love curry leaves. They're just so beautiful and it's just got such a vibrant smell about them. Now pop them in. It's gonna splatter a little bit, but that's okay. So it's not curry without curry leaves, really. Now, pandan leaf is also known as screw pine leaves, and it's also got a beautiful fragrance. It's used a lot throughout Sri Lankan cooking and also throughout Southeast Asia. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna tie it into a little knot. What that does is it tears the leaves a little bit and it gets that fragrance out, but it also keeps it together. And now I'm gonna go in with a little bit of water. And I'm gonna add in the spice. So this is our curry powder. The reason I put water into the pan is so that the spices don't burn. You don't want the spices to burn because it's gonna get really bitter. So that's all incorporating. It's just coming up to a simmer. I'm gonna add in the tamarind puree. This will give it that sort of tang and that sourness. I'm gonna add in my turmeric prawns. So add that in. You can really smell the turmeric in the prawns, but you can also visually see it. So that just goes in. One small change that you can make to improve your health is to include more immunity-boosting foods into your diet. Try turmeric. It's been known to reduce inflammation in the body for centuries. Oh, it smells good. Now I'm gonna let that simmer for 10 minutes. So I'm gonna be making some flatbread to go with this beautiful curry using some self-raising flour and beautiful cafe. So why don't I give Kate from Table of Plenty a quick call? Oh, hi Kate, how are you?
I'm good, Diana. How are you?
I'm really well, thank you. I'm actually using your cafe yogurt in my prawn curry and flatbread today. Can you tell me how that came about?
Yeah, sure. Well, our cafe's been around for probably a couple of years now, but it was part of our philosophy, which is all about whole foods and looking after yourself and nourishing yourself from the inside out. So gut health is something that totally made sense, and cafe is all to do with gut health.
Absolutely. I think it's just a fantastic product.
Yeah, well, kefir is kind of like a yogurt, but if you know anything about gut, you know that it's all to do with populating the gut with many, many different bacteria. Good ones, we have 10 strains in our kefir, many, many different fruits and vegetables, lots of fiber. So variety is the spice of life, and it's also for your gut. So we love it, and it's just a beautiful product.
Great to chat, Kate. Love your work. Now I gotta get back into cooking, so I'll speak to you soon.
Thanks very much.
Okay,
See you.
bye. Okay, so now for the cafe flatbread. 350 grams of self-raising flour. To that, I'm going to add about a cup of cafe. Add that in. Give that a stir. And you just really want to make sure that the cafe and the flour is incorporated together. Now, that's looking great, I think. I'm gonna grab a bowl and just kind of bind it together and then pat it out. I'm just gonna roll it out. There we go. Beautiful. Great. So let's make a few more before we start cooking. Now I'm gonna put the heat on, just about medium heat. And I'm gonna add some olive oil into the pan. Let's start cooking one. Now's a good time for me to check on this. I'm gonna add in some coconut cream. Now this was gonna add a lot of richness to the curry and give it that sort of like body. I'm just gonna add this in and then let that mix through in with the sauce. So the flatbread's looking pretty good. I'm gonna take it out. Okay, so now I've made some flavored butter. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add it to my flatbread right in the middle whilst it's hot. It's just gonna flavor it. Think about like a naan, where you get garlic naan. Pop that on. Now the curry's done, so I'm going to serve it up. Get all that beautiful prawns in there. How good does that look? I just wanna dig in. So now just add in our flatbread, and that can just go right here. Love it. It's my immunity boosting Sri Lankan prawn curry with cafe flatbread. Delicious.